we don't need anybody with dictatorial powers coming in to manage this district, and in my opinion, any other district. I mean, we have, and you have, as elected officials, all of the impetus that you need to do what's right in terms of managing the affairs of this school. And I always use this school as an example, this district as an example, when we talk about the finances, because I happen to know and understand that you have been running surpluses, but still can't dig yourself out of a hole, and that ain't all your fault. It's part of what, part of Metzger's is part of the issue, and you have no control over that.
Plus, don't forget, a lot of districts that have had dictatorial leadership have demonstrated that the morale goes down, and when the morale of the employees goes down, so does the learning of the children. So where is there a benefit to that?
Let me tell you what's on the radar screen. The teacher tenure piece, it's getting close to a done deal. I put the highlights of the bill there. Tenured teachers deemed ineffective for 2 consecutive years. We got to figure out what ineffective means. But you can for sure understand that somewhere embedded in the definition will be failure to move, to show progress, student progressing. Now, there have been adjustments. There are adjustments in the bill in terms of being able to dismiss teachers. The standard will be changed, I can tell you that for sure. Right now, the standard at the tenure commission, when a teacher comes before it, is just cause, reasonable and just cause. That will absolutely be changed to arbitrary and capricious. Will be the new standard, and that places more of the burden on the teacher, actually. Seniority will no longer be a factor in personnel decisions, and they wanted seniority not to be a factor across the board, but we managed to convince them that at least if everything else is equal, seniority ought to apply. I mean, if you've got 2 teachers that are equal in every respect, seniority ought to trigger. This is the 80-20 on the healthcare piece. I think you can fully expect that you're going to be required to offer that employees will no longer be able to pay. They must pay at least 20% of their health care costs, or you will. If you decide something different than that, you'll be penalized for it. And as I mentioned, teacher evaluations are coming on to the radar screen now, and there are a group of us that are dealing with that piece right now, and in terms of and working in a bipartisan way to try to get the teacher evaluation piece something that would be both reasonable for teachers, reasonable for administrators, and something that will be meaningful to the process. Evaluations aren't meant to be, should not be meant to be punitive, but that's part of a principle that we're following. I'd like to just stop right there and see if you have any questions that you want to ask further of me. It's a real different time, and it's a real tough time in dealing with the higher education piece. I wish I could describe to you You know, I sit in these education committee meetings, and some of the dialogue that you hear coming from my colleagues, you know, it's you wonder who's had any experience in dealing actually with teaching and learning and what that whole piece means. I'll stop right there, Mr. President.
Questions? I don't have a question. I just wanted to announce the second oldest person in the room, and with the person with the most experience as a superintendent of schools in another school district, and also earned a master's degree in business from a business school, and also earned a doctorate in school finance.
I'm convinced you have authority.
That you may be interested in knowing that we just encountered another problem with the emergency financial manager, one that just dumbfounded me. The issue that we were talking about just before the beginning of the meeting, of financing an expensive repair to two of our buildings, we're looking to find borrowed money. In the past, almost 35 years I've been doing this, I've had no problem at all in finding energy money, board bonds, where the board can say, yeah, we want to borrow money, and we will commit the current revenue that we have to paying off this indebtedness, as opposed to going to the public and saying, raise your taxes to fund a new high school, the long-term bonds. In the past, I've not had any trouble at all in finding that money. One of my other clients, the Inkster Public Schools, another
Yes.
deficit district,
Yep.
we borrowed money about 4 times, and this woman's a genius at finding money. She called me back yesterday and said that she was having trouble and wasn't sure she could find money because the difference with the Emergency Financial Act looming out there was one of, if the manager had capacity to declare bankruptcy, school district bankrupt,